She stares at her phone. The chat window is still open. No new message, just the last one she sent. Take care. And that's how silence begins. We've all been there, wondering what happens when someone who once couldn't stop talking to you suddenly disappears. Whether you're the one who went silent or the one left in silence, that moment changes everything. Because silence isn't just the absence of words, it's a psychological earthquake. It shakes attraction, exposes feelings, and reveals what was hidden beneath the surface. Silence is brutal. It's not quiet. It's confusing. It's the mind's loudest noise. She wonders, did I do something wrong? You wonder, does she even care that I stopped talking? Emotional connections thrive on certainty, and when silence enters, the brain panics. It starts searching for meaning, even where there is none. Silence becomes a psychological mirror, showing who's emotionally dependent, who's secure, who's playing games, and who's genuinely hurt. Understanding these stages, day 1, day 7, and day 30, changes everything about how you interpret silence. Communication, or the lack of it, defines every relationship. Silence activates the amygdala, the fear center of the brain. When someone you care about disappears, your brain interprets it as rejection or abandonment. That's why your heart races when your phone doesn't buzz. Psychologically, silence triggers the anxious avoidant loop. One side chases for answers, the other withdraws for control. It's a dance between distance and desire. And here's where most people get it wrong. They think silence is just no contact, but in psychology, silence is communication. It tells a story, whether you speak or not. On day 1, everything feels uncertain. The brain doesn't accept silence, yet it's still trying to make sense of it. She refreshes the chat, checks your status, wonders if you're angry, testing her, or just busy. Your absence creates a void, and the human mind hates voids, so it fills them with imagination. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance, the discomfort between what she believed and what's happening now. He said he cared, so why vanish? He said he'd always be there. Was that a lie? She swings between hope and denial, convincing herself you're just occupied, while deep down, she feels a subtle ache, not from missing you, but from losing certainty. And for the one who went silent, there's power, but also confusion. You start asking, should I text? Should I wait? Yet in that stillness, something powerful unfolds. Both of you start to see the emotional truth of the connection. Day 1 isn't rejection, it's reflection. By day 7, silence becomes real. The mind moves from confusion to analysis. She replays old conversations word by word, assigns meaning to every pause and emoji. This is where projection begins. She starts creating her own version of why you disappeared. He stopped talking because I said this. He's testing me. But in truth, her brain is just trying to restore control, because unpredictability terrifies the mind. Meanwhile, you start noticing her responses. Does she chase, respect space, or mirror your silence? Her attachment style reveals itself. If she's anxious, she seeks reassurance. If she's avoidant, she detaches. If she's secure, she stays calm but curious. By the first week, silence isn't a test of love, it's a test of emotional maturity. By day 30, silence transforms everything. The brain stops fighting for answers and starts adapting. She begins to reclaim her energy. Music, friends, self-care. She tells herself, if he wanted to talk, he would. And every time she repeats it, she grows stronger. She hasn't forgotten you. She's just rewriting the story. Your absence becomes part of her growth narrative. I learned to stop chasing what doesn't chase me. For the one who went silent, clarity also arrives. You start to realize what your silence has cost. Those small talks, that laughter, that spark, and now, it's all perspective. Silence stretched too long doesn't just test attraction, it transforms it. It turns longing into lessons and mystery into acceptance. What survives silence becomes stronger. What fades was never meant to stay. By day 30, silence is no longer a weapon or a wound, it's a window. You finally see what was real and what never was. But why does silence hurt so much? Because humans are wired for connection. Our survival brain sees rejection as danger, and silence triggers the same neural pain as physical injury. That's why your chest aches when someone ghosts you. It's not just emotion, it's biology. When silence enters, it's no longer about who texts first, it's about who stays emotionally stable when the other withdraws. That's where growth happens. Still, most people misunderstand silence. They use it as punishment when it should be for reflection. They break silence too soon, texting impulsively just to ease anxiety instead of communicating clearly. They assume silence means disinterest, when often it's emotional protection. People withdraw to process feelings, not to reject. And they think silence equals power, when true strength lies in mastering your emotions, not manipulating someone else's. Silence doesn't define connection, reaction does. How you behave during silence speaks louder than any words ever could. Picture it: two people, once deeply connected, now separated by quiet. No texts, no calls. Just two hearts learning to breathe on their own again. It feels like a breaking point, but it's actually a rebirth. Silence has a strange beauty. It teaches without speaking, heals by hurting, disconnects to reveal who's truly connected. So if you're in that silence right now, remember this: you're not being ignored by life. You're being invited to grow. No more chasing, no more guessing, no more trying to control someone else's emotions. Silence teaches self-worth, patience, and presence. Maybe that's the lesson the universe wanted you to learn all along. So, how do you use silence the right way? Don't react emotionally. Give it a day or two before responding. Let your nervous system reset. Reflect. Ask yourself, do I miss the person, or just the attention? Rebuild emotional independence. Focus on your goals, health, and peace. If you reconnect, do it with purpose. Communicate your boundaries and don't repeat old cycles. If you don't, let go gracefully. Some silences aren't endings, they're redirections. Silence doesn't destroy connection. Ego does. Use silence to strengthen understanding, not control. So what really happens when you go silent? Day 1 brings confusion. Day 7 brings reflection. Day 30 brings transformation. It's not just her mind that changes, it's yours too. Silence strips away illusions and reveals truth. If someone disappears, let them. If someone stays, appreciate them. And if silence becomes your teacher, listen carefully. It's teaching you emotional freedom. Because real love doesn't fear silence. It understands it. It grows through it. So the next time you find yourself in that quiet space, don't rush to fill it. Let silence speak. Because sometimes, the loudest answers come when you stop asking questions. If this message resonated with you, don't just scroll away. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember this: you don't lose people when you go silent, you discover who is truly listening.